heard of the 100th monkey syndrome? You ever heard of that? You change 100 people into this tune, and what happens is the rest of the people want to become this tune because they have no choice. The 100 monkey syndrome, if you don't know what it is, you can train these monkeys to do something on an island, like this island, let's say, and in the rest of the world, the monkeys learn the same thing in the air because everything is in the air. It's all electronic, it's magnetic, it's photochemical. And since the sun is sending more magnetic and photochemical energy, all we have to do is, that's why the superfoods to me, there's about over 100 plus superfoods, and you just exchange right now 50% of them for your foods that you're eating. Just exchange them over. The goji berries, like he says, the only reason you're eating them is because they're full of polysaccharides. And polysaccharides is what makes you very, very healthy. We lose our polysaccharides, and what happens is we get very sick. So there's, each one of these foods, like this is cold processed turmeric. You take a half a teaspoon of this, stay home, okay? Because you're going to sit on the toilet. This cleans your brain, and the first few times you take it there, it works you in a way. And this is cold. This is regular turmeric, because a lot of people say, "Oh, I eat turmeric here, culinary turmeric or medicinal turmeric." This is cold extraction. So what I try to do, and it's all in bisphenol A-free food-grade packages, what I try to do is find the most concentrated form of herbs, spices, resins, shilajit, which is the king of the Ayurvedic herbs. A lot of these things that people never even heard of, macuna. You want to get happy? You eat macuna every day. Macuna is L-dopa. L-dopa is why people do cocaine. They do 2 lines of cocaine and they go, whoa, they got a whole bunch of L-dopa in their brain, and then they're empty for weeks. So L-dopa, once you become happy in yourself, is only because you have the right phytochemicals in your glands to make you so you can actually function. And once you function this way, then all the stuff we're talking about is really fun. But there is a turbulence to get there. It's not just, you got to snap up and go from one to the next. And so all you can do is just see in time. I tell people for 21 days, guys, it takes 7 days for you to have a habit that'll stick because of an addiction. You've never done heroin, let's say, let me inject you for 7 days, and then I'll own you. It'll take you 21 days to get rid of that creature that we've grown. It's the same with yeast mold and fungus. It's a 7-day growth. You can do cigarettes for 7 days, and you're going to have to smoke after that because you're going to feel like, I need to smoke. And then once you smoke, you don't even get high. You go, okay, I'm ready for a couple hours. And then, it takes 21 days, though, to reform this creature in your system. So I look at things as actually the reason being why a lot of the things we do is because there's a system behind the system. So always try to observe your feelings and notice sometimes why you feel a certain way is not usually because of you. It's because of something that lives within you. And the thing to do, remember, is never to kill anything. I found this out. You manipulate these things out of you by the simplest thing is superfoods. 50% of your foods get changed. And then you start checking off, like the shower chlorinator. Pink. You check off. You start maybe, instead of buying water at the store in plastic bottles, you start making it yourself and remineralizing it. So it's just like a little check off each by each. No more cell phones to the head. Take out all the fillings out of the mouth. But making the right movements. And all I can do is share you, just like Marcus. I can only share you what we're doing. Can't tell you what to do because then you're practicing medicine without a license. So I share with people what we do. That's why I see him as the superfood master there, because other people look at you as, I feel like I'm just a student. People go, oh, you're a master. So, no, you're kidding. I'm just a student. So at my level, I'm a student because I'm growing in a whole new ring, and I'm wanting to become more at this ring. But I've already been to the 5th and 6th grade. I'm in 8th grade now. So, that's...
This is a journey for all of us. I mean, Dr. Kazar is a master himself. I mean, you clearly are a master when you're doing this, but at the same time, he's evolving into light. Human means hue is light man. So he's evolving. Like this herb here, tribulus, is a great herb if you were in need of, just learning to get your muscle tissue and your energy back in recovery. Glandular, I mean, this is one of the things that I always put the clients on when they mean,
I take a half a teaspoon of this every morning in my yerba mate tea if I have, or I put it in water. It's cold processed triggers. It's not regular. It's cold processed.
and I mean, it's a magical herb. So the fact that he has this.
What does it say on there? It says this word here is called saponins. Look that up. Saponins are essential for your glands to highly function. So if you lose your saponins, which is just sort of like greasy stuff, when we were talking to the guy in Europe, he said, "Oh, saponins, saponins." These guys are trying to explain because they have, the words are different. You've got an accent and different. But the saponins in here, I didn't know about either. And so I'm constantly learning. 4 years ago, I didn't know any of this stuff about superfoods. I used to eat simple foods as much as I knew. Remember, we're all doing the best that we know how to do. So actually adding this stuff to your food lifts you up, like you were talking about, massively, very quickly.
Well, I made a vow to myself, and Chef Angelica helps me out with the clients, that I was going to live on nothing but superfoods. And so for the last 2.5 years, I've lived on nothing but raw, living, cultured superfoods. So it's a case of I'll take some of Dr. Kazar's products, throw them into a blender, use some fresh fruit or some greens, whisk that up, and then add in a coconut kefir type yogurt or made out of nuts that's been fermenting in my refrigerator just with friendly bacteria for the body. That way it becomes all broken down and highly cellular available. And so these like concoctions that I like to live on make life so delicious, but I'm beginning to feel so powerful that when I touch myself, that it is like a rock. He calls us a bio machine, which is what we are, an electrical bio unit that is able to do what we want with our bodies. And it's so much fun. That's what I would say to you guys. Make this a real fun experience, because for me, that's what it is. And when I'm with my clients, I have so much fun with them. It's kind of like I'm loving them. And I'm thanking God for them, that they are putting their income into the direction of light, a new human being flowered into a higher level of being and existence that goes back to their community and just has this beaming ray of light. And now everyone's asking them, how did you do it? And they're like, well, and that's why I really want to align with Dr. Kazar and even the eco-sustainable systems, because we're going into a time here where how you've managed to get these ingredients, I don't know. But we need to be growing these ingredients for ourselves and learning how to just get barefoot out there and digging and planting and nurturing and helping to create this as a sustainable system for everybody. It's like everybody's got to learn to do this. And the ones that don't, unfortunately, there will be many that won't, they're going to perish. I'm not trying to say that we be mean about anything. It's just there's so many plagues and diseases and floods and things that are being, they've been depicted for many years by every single scripture from every religion. And they're also now coming about through credible, research. And then there is evidence of, New Orleans, the Gulf, you've got Pakistan flooded, you've had so many catastrophes that it's time to say, okay, something's going on here. And the consciousness of those who want to wake up and want to become strong superfood farmers with immune systems that could walk through a plague and just, it doesn't bother them the way that Jesus Christ, if he was able to do that, it's probably due to the fact this guy was super wise. He was a guy who was, at birth, 3 kings from Egypt brought him gold, frankincense, and myrrh, which are high vibrational ingredients. That's just a signal that story tells you this guy was being nurtured from birth by 3 Egyptian kings. So right away, he probably had this wisdom. We're just like waking up to the wisdom that probably built the pyramids. I mean, what it is that's going on regarding superfood, the transformational process that I'm feeling within me and watching in my clients and seeing Dr. Kazar go through, it's like, okay, why didn't I have this wisdom 10 years ago? Or if I had this when I was a kid and I was a fighter, I probably would whitewash
because the sun wasn't giving you
the information at the time. And so it's a cycle, I guess, because it must have given those Egyptian pyramid makers the information, because when you go in front of a pyramid, as myself and Chef Angelic has, you don't just see a building. you see a New York City block in front of you. Like, it's like, you're like looking at this thing like, how could have this been built by human beings? Yeah, huge blocks. So we know that the wisdom has once been here. Even in the Greek temples, you're like, what's going on here as well? It was these vortexes of super powerful information. And so many people have a back off to learning this stuff. And I say, let's make it fun. You know? Like, I want to go through this slide real quick, because we got a plane to catch.
Yeah.
So, and I want to bring Chef Angelica. Yeah. All right. So, well, it's really my journey into the raw. That's what I'm going to sort of share with you. And my nutrition it has been the journey that helped me ascend. It helped me mentally, spiritually, and physically. And so I put a website out. It's called organiclifeandfitness.com. Chef Angelica has been assisting me. And so we can move through this next slide. Okay, so here I am with you guys. Really happy to be here. And really hoping that this broadcast goes right out to the World Wide Web. Because the World Wide Web needs this. You know, I mean, the world needs the information. So I'm really honored and full of aloha spirit, mahalo, and gratitude to be here and be able to share with you and the World Wide Web. Okay, let's move it on. So, yeah, I specialize in fitness training, Love and Light Foods, which was just the tag we came up with, that are light foods filled with love, that Chef Angelica will come up later and show you, began specializing in, which would literally transform people's lives almost overnight. And using the superfoods, of course, that Dr. Kazar is specializing in. But prayer and meditation has been really important to me. And the reason for this is because I was lost. You know, without prayer first, I was lost. I was a very angry fighter that had kind of come up through a lot of misinformation and felt abused at times by both system and parents and culture. And I was an angry guy, and it was really important for me to get in touch with Spirit and pray in order for me to find this information. So I will say that prayer is really important. I breathe and sing, moving and dance. The Wisdom Club. The Wisdom Club and the website is really to turn people on to specialists like Dr. Kazar. Because everyone specializes in something different, and I like to refer out. I know what I'm good at, and I know what I'm not. And so I'm humble, and when I meet somebody who has this kind of expertise, I like, you need to ask this guy. Because I'm sitting, listening and learning just as much as you are. I know what I'm good at, but this guy specializes in the food itself, and how to get a hold of it. Music is really important for me, as Kazar likes to use these chimes. I like to tune into certain musical frequencies and songs, because as we know, music is very emotional. You know, if you turn on your favorite song, it can immediately start putting you into a space of like, it brings back great memories. And it's so important for us to have that inner hormonal terrain being affected as constant as possible in the positive, let's say the positive ascension rather than descending. And today's culture has so much music that actually descends individuals. And we're so unconscious of where we go, our environments, and what's playing. We don't realize we're actually being depressed.